Hey there, welcome to Violet's DIY Style. I'm Violet. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. So today's tutorial is not only me giving you inspiration on how to make a hot summer DIY glam picnic, but it's also a collaboration, my first time ever hosting a collaboration. So I hope you guys enjoy. I am hosting alongside my co-host Crafting in Mimi's World, so make sure you go check out her channel. And I am going to leave a link to her channel down below, along with the link of everyone that participated in this collaboration. So you can go check out the playlist of everyone and all the different ways that you can make these glam picnics, either indoors or outdoors. These are so popular. I have seen them all over the place, and I just wanted to share with you and also get inspired with everyone else's tutorials of how to make these glam picnics on a budget. So with that all being said, again, I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to give all of us a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. And I'm going to start off with my DIYs. So the first one we're going to do is I'm going to share with you how I did this thrift store flip. So when I decided to do this DIY glam picnic, I first thought, okay, well, I need some kind of table or sitting arrangement where, you know, we can sit not just on a blanket. So I decided to go look for a coffee table, and I found this oval coffee table at my local thrift store for $5. And all I did was clean it up really good. And I usually clean up wood with some vinegar and hot water, just wipe it down, or just soap and water. Then I allow it to dry very good. And now what I'm going to do is sand the top part of my table. And don't mind my dogs, they just are always around me. You can see one right there laying down indoors. He's a lot furrier, so I didn't want him outdoors with all this sanding. And my other one right there that I'm tapping is always around me as well. So just don't mind them, but they are like my children, so they're always around me. But just go ahead and sand down whatever table you decide to use. And this is a great idea, even if you don't want to use it as a glam picnic, but you just need a coffee table and you like the bones or the structure of whatever table you find. Just change it up by sanding it down and even giving it a good coat of paint. So what I decided to do was make mine more of a neutral or even farmhouse style look. So again, I sanded the top part, and then I flipped it over and decided to paint everything else white. So I gave my table 2 good coats of white paint, and I made sure I allowed the paint to dry in between each coat. And I do that because I am using a paintbrush, and I don't want those lines to be to see through. So that's a great tip for you guys. If you're going to paint something, make sure you allow it to completely dry your first coat before you add any other coat onto the top of that. That way you'll eliminate all of those lines with your paintbrush. So just give it one really good coat, and I did do the bottom of the top of my coffee table as well, just to make it look more finished. I didn't want that to be brown and everything else white, so I just went ahead and gave that a good coat as well. So once you're done and you let all 2 coats dry, this is the way it's going to look. And then all I did was flip it over. And then what I got was a bucket of some clean water. And you can leave it as is if you like. It looks really pretty that way. But again, I got a bucket of clean water, and I just cleaned my brush, all that paint off. And I used that same water with that paint to make a whitewash effect on the top of my table, because I didn't want it to be completely that natural color look. I wanted it to have more of that farmhouse whitewash look on top. So this is what I did. All I did was give it one good coat of the paint, and depending on how dark of a white color whitewash you want on top of your table is how long you're going to leave your paint. Basically, I brushed it on and I wiped it off right away. And I did this because I wanted to go ahead and just give it layers until I got the color that I was looking for. I didn't want to give it that chance of me leaving it on too long and making it too white and not the color that I wanted. So this is just the way I do it. I just go ahead and paintbrush it on and then wipe it right off. And I do this about 2 or 3 times until I get the color that I want on top of my table. And you can do this with any color. You don't have to necessarily just use white. You can do it with any color at all. Just make sure you dilute it with some water and then brush it on and wipe it off with a wet washcloth as well. So I live in Florida, and when I started this project, the weather was perfect. It was nice and sunny. And then this past week, with all the storms and everything going on, I was so worried that I wasn't going to be able to do my outdoor picnic. But I did have a chance. There was one day that it was really, really hot and humid, but it was sunny. So I did have a chance to set it up and share with you how it looks outdoors and indoors. So I was so excited that I was able to do that. And I hope you guys enjoy how the finished look of everything turned out. I absolutely love the way all of this turned out. And I can't wait to see everyone else's ideas and get inspired, not only to do one theme of picnics, but just, you know, do different crafts to make this a different way every time I decide to make a picnic indoors or outdoors. So once you're done with your table, just go ahead and allow it to dry and set it aside. So now we're going to do some decorations. So we're going to do some crafting DIYs in order to decorate for our picnic. Now I wanted to go with the theme of more of a spring floral type theme. So I decided to go ahead and make one centerpiece with a tall, as tall as I possibly could. So what I decided to do was grab one bowl and then a vase, glue them together by flipping the bowl upside down and then just gluing the vase right on top of it. Once that was dry, I added some more permanent glue right on top of the vase. And then I flipped it over onto one of these metal trays from Dollar Tree as well. Now you can get any shape. I believe there's even circles and squares. I just decided to get one of these oval metal trays that I already had on hand to use. So make sure you let this completely dry before you start moving it around. Once it's all nice and dry, this is the way it looks. Now I wanted to go ahead and make it my own. So I wanted to add some candles on the top. I decided to go ahead and make the tallest candle by adding one of these Votor glass cups at the bottom of my candle holder. So just use some permanent glue and do that. Then you're going to go ahead and add some more glue on the bottom of that and add it to the center of your tray. Make sure it's right in the center and then just go ahead and let that dry. Then I grabbed 2 more of the same glass candle holders and then I'm just going to put those on the side, on either side of my tallest one. Again, just adding permanent glue and some hot glue on the bottom of each one of the candle holders. Just make sure everything's nice and even and press on it a little bit and then let it dry. And you're going to do that with the second one as well. Now, I've done this kind of centerpiece. I actually did it for my daughter's quinceañera. Her theme was Beauty and the Beast. So this centerpiece right here, it's very affordable and it's really tall. So you don't have to add anything more to it. And it's a very beautiful, nice size. So you can make this more farmhouse, more elegant, just depending on what color you decide to spray paint it. So I wanted to make mine more neutral, so I spray painted mine a tan color once everything was nice and dry. Then I grabbed some of these battery operated candles from Dollar Tree as well and just added them to my candle holders. So I decided again to keep this more of a garden floral type decoration. So I just added some moss onto my tray and some roses and then some extra greenery that I had, and I just put it in there, and there you go, a beautiful easy centerpiece. So next, I wanted to go ahead and add a little bit more glam, I guess you could say, to my garden flower theme. So I grabbed some of these ceramic roses. I think these are to add your incense in them. Then I went ahead and added some of these tall candle tea light candle holders, and I flipped them over and I just glued them with some permanent glue and hot glue onto my ceramic flower. Once this was completely dry, I went ahead and took them outside and spray painted them. So again, I wanted this to be my glam kind of touch to my picnic area. So I went ahead and spray painted mine silver. Then I let those dry. Next, I went ahead and grabbed 2 of these floral placemats. And now you can use them as placemats if you like, but I wanted to make some sitting pillows. So what I did was just grab one of my round saucers and I went ahead and just traced them out. Then I cut out that circle. And you can make as many as you want with these. I just decided to make one for each person since this is going to be a picnic for 2. Again, just go ahead and cut out your circle. And make sure you save that extra large piece right there of your placemat because we are going to be making another project with that as well. So once you're done cutting out your circles, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and flip it inside out. And just do one at a time. Again, I did 2 of them. Now you have 2 options here, or a few actually, but you can do what I did and just use your hot glue gun to glue both of these seams right back together, the pieces of fabric. Or you can, if you want to sew it, you can sew it together. I know they also have the iron-on seam that you basically, it's like a piece of tape and you just put it in between both fabrics and use your iron to glue them and seal them together, which works really well as well. So I didn't have any of that because that's usually what I go for, but the hot glue gun did work just as well. So just go ahead and glue all around your pillowcase. Just make sure you leave one opening of your pillowcase in order for you to stuff it. Just be very careful. Add a little bit of glue, not too much. And then, again, just be really careful if you decide not to use any gloves or protection like I did. So once everything is nice and dry, because again, it is hot glue, so you need to make sure you wait until it's all nice and dry before you flip it back over. And then just use your finger and kind of push everything in, out to make sure all those corners and everything is nice and smooth. And then again, just put some stuffing inside. Now, I tend to, like if I have a pillow that I don't like or just don't want to use anymore, throw a pillow, I just unstuff it and go ahead and put it in a bag, and then I just recycle that same stuffing to use for different accent pillows or things like that. So this I had on hand and I just went ahead and stuffed my pillow. And then once you're done stuffing it, just make sure it's all nice and smooth and then just glue that opening up. And there you have it, your first pillow. Now you go ahead and do this with the second one as well. Just go ahead and cut it out, glue it all together, and then flip it back over. And then all you're going to do is smooth everything out and then restuff it. And then seal that end. And there you have both of your pillows. So next, what I decided to do with that extra fabric of the placemat is I just went ahead and grabbed one of them and cut it in half. And then I just went ahead and glued it all together to make sure all of it was glued together and sealed. Then I cut one of those strips in half and I added that glue right at the edge again just to make sure everything was nice and sealed. And then once that was all sealed, I just wrapped it around to make a napkin ring. And there you have it, 2 napkin rings. Now with the other piece, I went ahead and just evened it out and cut it into 2 squares. Now my first thoughts were I was going to make square cup holders, but then I remembered that I had these pieces of wood, these round pieces of wood from another project that I made too many of. So I just went ahead and flipped it over, which I wish I would have painted it white since I did have that black paint on it because it did kind of seep through, but it was okay after a while. But if I would have known, I would have painted it white. But just go ahead and mark and trace out your whatever shape you decide to use. And then just cut out that floral part of your placemat. You don't really need that back part. So once you're done cutting both of them out, this is the way it's going to look. And then you just get any kind of Mod Podge you have. I know Dollar Tree even has some, but for me, it's more budget wise for me to buy the larger ones. So I just went ahead and added a good amount of Mod Podge to my piece of wood. Then I just added that fabric right on top. And I pressed firmly on it, making sure that all the edges were nice and covered. And I did that to the second one as well. So once I was done doing that second one, I went ahead and grabbed the first one again, and then I'm just going to go ahead and put more Mod Podge on it, but on the top part. And give it a really good coat of this Mod Podge to make sure that it stays in place, because you are going to be adding some glass cups on here, and that moisture, you don't want it to make it bubble and come up. So just make sure you add a good coat of the Mod Podge on top of your fabric and then let it dry overnight. And there you have them. So now I'm going to add one of these throw covers, and I'm going to leave the information of this throw cover. I absolutely love this one. It's the perfect size just to cuddle up and use while you're watching a movie, or like I am for a picnic. So I'll make sure to leave that information down below for you if you're interested. I know they do have quite a few different colors on Amazon of this fabric, of this throw cover as well. So what I used for my runner was a scarf. Then I went ahead and grabbed one of these greenery vines, again from Dollar Tree. Basically all of this was from Dollar Tree. Then I just added that to the center of my runner, since I wanted to go for more of that garden theme. Then I'm going to add my cup holders and some plates from Dollar Tree as well, and my glass, my margarita cup. So there you go. Then I just did that to the second side as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my centerpiece. And then my 2 candle holders or little stands. Now these stands, you don't have to necessarily use candles on them. You can put marshmallows or strawberries or a bowl of fruit on it. I decided to use them just simple candle holders, but stands, but you can use it for all kinds of things as well. Or just add some more flowers if you like on them. Then I went ahead and got my napkin holders and just placed them on top of my plates. And added my pillows, and there you have it. A beautiful outdoor picnic. So I decided to add more flowers, again, since I wanted to go with that garden theme. I just thought it needed a little bit more of some flowers around the table, so I just added some loosely around my runner. And this is the final look. So I hope you enjoyed my version of a glam picnic. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. And again, don't forget to go check out the playlist of everyone that participated on this open collab. And thank you to everyone that did participate with me. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you guys had as much fun as I did making my creation. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.